Hello, bruv. We got more books. As promised. This book I bought because it was cheap. I saw his name, the author, Fred Nash, a Detroit artist, mentioned in a news article. And as you can see, he drew little caricatures. Don't you go to landscape, bastard. Why does this thing want to go to landscape? Fred Nash drew caricatures, and he put out a couple books. I think one's called, well, I know one's called Faces You Saw, Caricatures of Familiar People Seen About Detroit by Fred Nash. That's Fred. And these are the caricatures, and then he had like a little bio. The introduce. The book itself is a preface, but inasmuch as the latest cut in literary style demands a preface in which the author tells why he's seen his duty and done it, we cannot resist the temptation to conform to the vogue and give all raison d'etre, both a la carte and table d'eau, whatever the hell that is. In the first place, we have been for a long time confined to our regular job and felt the need of a little change. In the second place, we cherish ever a lofty ambition to contribute to the gaiety of the nation. There you have our apology in a nutshell. We need to change and wanted you, philanthropic reader, to be gay enough to provide it. What we intend to do with the change is quite another matter. Anyway, Fred made these little sketches, and since I'm from Detroit and live in the suburbs, I never really lived in Detroit, but I was born there. Nobody lives in Detroit. And he has another book, which I'm going to try to get because I'm looking for a certain caricature of somebody. But I don't know if it exists. Crib by Harold Lee, what's his name? Friedman. You got a little baby with the Grim Reaper, bruv. Now you lay him down to sleep, and pray the Lord his soul to keep, if he should die before he wakes. Crib. That's scary, bruv. A voice from where? The service was almost over. When the speaker finished, he grasped a handful of earth from the mound near the excavation and let it spill into the opening. He looked to Joni and nodded piously until she began to walk to the mound. Then, not knowing how she got there, she was standing in the center of the gathering. The dirt felt cool and moist. She filled her hand and faced the opening. It came in a faraway lullaby, as though sung by a creature from the surrounding woods. A low incantation carried on the wind. With their hands still outstretched. Jesus Christ. Halloween party, Agatha Christie. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Fiction about Halloween. The guests included ghoulies, ghosties, and long-legged beasties, but the scariest ingredient of the party was the little girl who claimed to have witnessed the murder. Bought that on today, which is Devil's Night, bruv. So that's perfect timing for the baby with the Grim Weeper? Ellery Queen. Cat of many tails. You don't need to guess. You don't need to guess why I bought that. It's got a kitten on the front. This book, bruv. The Castles of Transylvania with Vlad the Impaler on the front. Saw a copy listed on eBay for $75, but I highly doubt it's worth more than about $3 or $4. But you never know. I would have bought it regardless, just so I can have it with my rather extensive vampire collection. Vampire books. Walls of Flame, Gerard Schultz. This book from 1968. deals with summer in Michigan. Walls of Flames is a history of the Michigan forest fire of September 1881. Eyewitness accounts were purposely used because they have qualities that a secondary narrative cannot achieve. They make this awesome event more vivid and more real. They use lots of newspaper articles, which I'm assuming is where all the eyewitness accounts came from, bruv. I don't know why this forest fire is. The topic of a book, but maybe it was a important fire, buddy. This book, I looked it up on eBay to see if it was worth anything. And it's possibly worth something, $5 to $10 range. But the funny thing with Lance Rensel is not so funny. I can't recall who Joey Heatherton is, but I believe she was some hot bitch. This dude, Lance Rensel, was a 29-year-old wide receiver, and he had the whole world going. I don't know what his stats were. Lance one day decided he was going to do some pee-pee showing. Apparently, he showed a 10-year-old girl his peckers, and that was the end of. I don't know if it was the end of his career, but it was the end of his marriage. What's this? My life seemed to be full of humorous incidents, memorable for the zaniness. I'm guessing this is his damage control book of why he exposed himself to a 10-year-old. So yeah, interesting story by a guy who apparently ruined his career by showing his pecker to a kid. Fatima, the story behind the miracles. I think everyone knows that. And like I've said, if anything's paranormal, Fatima and the apparition books are pretty paranormal. So I gather them in the same manner that I grab books about ghosts. Fingerprints of the Gods by Graham Hancock. The Mystery of the Maps. Can't remember what this book was about. I may even have this in hardcover. Could the story of mankind, that's what he basically claims, is that the story of mankind is, he's claiming the story of mankind's older than we have previously believed. In his other book, The Mystery of the Sphinx, I believe he said that the Sphinx was younger, but I don't recall. I went and saw him speak one time. Pretty brilliant guy. And I eventually sold his autographed copy of the book I had like a fool. Blood and Ash and Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer Armentrout, which I plan to sell, since I think I can make $20 for the chew. What the hell is in this book, bruv? That's just a bookmark. So yeah, those were purposely bought for resale. This book I wasn't going to sell. I was going to, yeah, actually I was. Who am I lying to? Studying Chess Made Easy by Batsford Chess. Andrew Soltis, I should say. Book apparently has $15-20 value, so I will be selling it to make some money. Had a pretty good haul at this one thrift store, Step Thrift Store in Dearborn. Secrets of the Russian Chess Masters, Volume 1. Again, same thing. Plan on selling it. I think this is worth the $15 to $20 range as well. This one I do not plan to sell, unless, no, I probably couldn't sell it if I had a dust jacket. I could shrine to Our Lady around the world, which is Fatima again. And like I said, since I've started collecting, since I've been collecting paranormal stuff, you might as well collect the Crying Mary or whatever Fatima is. I think that's all Fatima is, isn't it? Mary crying, or am I wrong? Statues of Mary crying, or something of that ilk. I don't even know who Fatima is, honestly. Or Skinema. Dark Souls, Future Press. This book I see is worth quite a bit of money. Prepare to die less. How many times did we die before you could actually hold this guide in your hands? 100 times, 1,000 times. This is some kind of a guidebook to, I'm assuming, a game. If I can get $30 for it, I'll gladly take it, even though it'll probably cost about $6 to send. This one I won't sell because I don't think it's worth anything. I don't even know who Northrop Frye is, but now I have a hardcover book of his thoughts on Shakespeare. It's this book from the 90s, 80s, 86. I assume it's just explication on Shakespeare. And finally, another book, Smith's Bible Dictionary, which is generally worth about 10, but this kind of has illustrations and it has a faux leather. More hardcover than anything, but I can sell it for 12, 13 bucks. What's this? I didn't notice this. Anyway, that's my book haul. I think I'm caught up. What other book did I get in the mail the other day, bruv? What did I just get in the mail? Don't recall. Something came the other day. I don't remember. I do remember. What was it? What book did I just get, buddy? Must have been Arthur Mundo's book. Anyway, that's all, buddy.